Alright, hello. Uh, been playing POE2 pretty much since it was released. And I just kind of wanted to comment, so I'm sitting here playing through early game, which is supposed to be the most balanced part of the game. And I want to talk about culling strikes in POE2. One, culling strikes suck. Everybody knows they do. They're terrible. Like, the skills that give them, like Cull the Weak, are basically unusable. Like, I can't hit that guy because he died. You know, frenzy charges are pseudo requirements for explosive spear, for lightning spear. Explosive spear is kind of what you want to be doing if you're doing twister. And so the entire class, at least at level 13, is kind of built on the idea that you should be generating some frenzy charges, and they're just really hard to generate. This is ignoring the fact that frenzy charges, you just don't get them versus bosses, which, if anything, is the time when you want to have more power, especially in the early game. So, like, all of these culling strike attacks, Cull the Weak, Killing Palm, they're just bad. And I don't know why they're so bad. They've been buffing Killing Palm specifically. Cull the Weak is still kind of garbage, but whatever. Like, they're so bad. And why are they so bad? And I think part of that is just because Culling Strike itself is bad. The fact that Culling Strike doesn't activate until 20% on normals, 10% on rares, and 5% on uniques is atrocious. Like, even the normals, like, look, I can't call that guy. These guys are normal. If I get them into culling range, they die. Like, I think there's a couple options you could do with Culling Strike first and foremost to fix the problem. One, Culling Strike could be, like, you could just double the ranges. If it's 40% on normals, 20% on rares, and 10% on uniques, that's probably fine. I, I think that would be much, much more usable and would feel reasonable if nothing else changed about these cull skills except the ranges on Culling Strike itself got doubled. Great. Okay, sorry. It's 30% on normals, 20% on magics, whatever. Maybe not 60% on normals, but maybe 60% on normals. They're normal monsters. Who cares? You hit them too hard, they just fall over in one hit. The only reason I'm not killing them in one shot is because I'm level 13. That will eventually happen. And it feels like it's never usable when you want it to be. It feels bad. This would make the Culling Strike support way too powerful if you just gave Culling Strike to every skill. I don't think that's a problem. I think, if anything, get rid of the Culling Strike support. It's... Why? Why is Culling Strike so bad in PoE2? It doesn't need to be. I think Culling Strike is too accessible in general, to no benefit to anyone. If you didn't have Culling Strike support, if Culling Strike itself were a harder mod to attain, you could make Culling Strike better, and classes, especially the Monk, that are dependent on Culling Strike effects early game would feel less bad. Monk feels atrocious right now. And there's no, like, this is not reachable for anyone at an early game stage. You get other effects that can generate charges when you get to higher levels, but when it's locked behind Culling Strike effects, I don't think that's bad. I think Culling Strikes are fine, theoretically. It's just every Culling Strike is so atrocious to play with. And this is exemplified very, very strongly in this season because Devour exists. Devour is a skill that does not require that you cull, but it can cull. and it feels phenomenal, especially compared to Killing Palm, Cull the Weak. Like, these effects are trash, and they make the classes that use them feel worse. And Devour feels pretty good. Like, that's mostly all I wanted to talk about. Make Culling Strike better, make Killing Palm better, make Cull the Weak better. They don't, I want to say they don't need to be stronger, they need better quality of life, but they just need to be stronger. They need to be worth pressing the button, because having the ability be so core to the class, especially for monks so early, kind of feels like trash. And it makes monk as a whole feel like trash. And it's not as important to the Huntress, but it's still a feels bad thing every time I go to press Cull the Weak and it doesn't actually kill a thing and I waste time doing this atrocious attack. That's all.